forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Cloud cover across the area here tonight, and we can see the rain out to the west trying to work its way in. Kind of falling apart as it moves into parts of central Illinois, but we think eventually that rain is going to get here by early tomorrow morning. Boy, you can pick out a cold front. Look at this thing here. 62 right now in Effingham. It's 43 in Springfield. That cold air is on the move and is going to continue to roll in as we go throughout the course of tonight. So if you are out early tomorrow, you will be encountering some rain to start the weekend. But it looks better on the second half of the weekend, which we'll talk about coming up. WCIA 3 News.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
These kids, they get cooped up. They want to get out.
Of course, you can go outside during this stay-at-home order, but one coach says he was in the wrong after his team did more than that. Plus, the governor says you might want to wear a new accessory when you go outside. Why the CDC agrees.
Anything that we can do to make it a little bit easier on them.
And those who work in the ICU handle the most dire patients. How some are making sure they have one less thing to worry about.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini. A coach is apologizing tonight for holding a baseball practice with a team of kids during this COVID-19 pandemic.
Put any kid in harm.
What happened sparked frustration by people who live in Clinton. Tonight, the coach explains why he violated the governor's stay-at-home order. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen has the story.
These kids, they get cooped up. They want to get out.
The Clinton Rams traveling team gathered at a field to play ball.
It was a mistake. I never thought, I wouldn't want to put the kids in harm. There's no way. That was not my intention.
Tony Douglas says he came up with the idea to let the kids release some pent-up energy from having to stay indoors. While the governor's stay-at-home order does allow for people to go outside, the close interactions between these teammates was a direct violation of the intent behind that mandate.
If you're at all possible, stay inside. Maintain your social distancing.
Clinton City Manager Tim Followell says their staff did what they could to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
The city shut down the parks by putting cautionary tape around the equipment, but the field where the traveling baseball team was playing at is owned by a private company and is not closed to the public.
Douglas says at the time he didn't realize the negative effects of playing the game that day.
I'm not making an excuse. I was 100% wrong. And doing what I was doing, just trying to, give the kids a little fresh air and go taste of baseball.
While it can be difficult to fight the urge to gather in large groups, it is one effective way people can do their part to prevent the spread of coronavirus.
As the warmer weather's coming around, to invite us outside, to always be cognizant of what you're doing. And that's what got lost a little bit that night at the ball field.
Reporting, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3 News.
Clinton police did get in contact with the team leaders. The coach says it will not happen again. The Department of Public Health announced more than 1,200 new cases of coronavirus today, along with 53 more deaths. There are now more than 8,900 cases and 210 deaths. In central Illinois, there are 52 confirmed cases in Champaign County. The Public Health District says 5 of those people have recovered. There are 23 cases in Sangamon County. 2 people have died there. A 3rd person has tested positive in Macon County. Effingham County has diagnosed its first case. A Champaign police officer tested positive for COVID-19. The department is notifying anyone with whom the officer may have come in contact. City leaders say the officer is in home isolation and did not need to go to the hospital. The officer will not be going back to work until the Champaign-Urbana Public Health District gives the okay. Police Chief Anthony Cobb did release a statement not only wishing the officer a full recovery, but also saying, quote, "We have worked tirelessly to prepare in the event that one of our employees tested positive. I want to reassure the community that we remain fully operational and able to deliver responsive public safety services." Champaign's mayor says the city is doing all it can to keep employees safe from COVID-19. Deb Finan says they are maintaining social distancing and many people are working from home. As for first responders, she says PPE is available and they've changed daily routines to maintain distance.
For example, for police, they are often holding briefings now outside in their parking lot. The weather is allowing for that.
She says they're also sanitizing and washing vehicles. The state is preparing empty convention centers and old hospitals to accept COVID-19 patients. One will be the old Vibra Hospital in Springfield. This is in the event hospital systems become overwhelmed. Right now, there are 28,000 hospital beds in the state. Only 11,500 beds are available. The governor says the other locations will add hundreds more beds in case of a major outbreak of COVID-19. To prevent that from happening, the governor is urging people who leave their home to wear a mask.
Maybe it's a homemade fabric mask, or maybe it's a manufactured general medical mask. Really just something to cover your nose and mouth out of courtesy to those around you in case you're one of those who are asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic and who could be spreading the virus.
Patients with less severe cases who do not need intensive care will be cared for in these makeshift hospitals. Another medical provider is making changes for its employees. Sarah Bush Lincoln Health Center in Mattoon also said it's reduced staff hours because of the effects of coronavirus. That affects more than 500 full-time positions out of nearly 2,500 employees. It says workers won't lose their benefits. Christie Clinic in Champaign County said yesterday it was furloughing 25% of its staff. Carl is dedicating 2 locations in Champaign County for people who need breathing treatments. They're for patients who have symptoms consistent with COVID-19 and other respiratory illnesses. URBANA on Windsor will be open every day until further notice, holidays included, from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. Carl and Mahomet will be open Monday through Friday from 8 until 5, but closed from noon to 1. Walk-ins are okay, but you are encouraged to make an appointment. And workers at Carl are getting some words of encouragement each time they go to and leave from work. These words and phrases have been chalked on the sidewalk around the hospital. Staff says their non-clinical colleagues are the ones writing those positive messages. One group's making sure workers in Carl's ICU are fed on weekends. ROBYN DETERDING says she got the idea because of her friend who works in the unit. She was told Carl's dining services are either closed or limited on the weekends. Now, 30 people work in the ICU and COVID units. DETERDING and others reached out to restaurants to see if they'd donate meals. So far, she's gotten a positive response.
Anything that we can do to make it a little bit easier on them. We're looking at stuff they can grab and take a bite off of and get back to work. And we figure they're working long shifts. They get home, and the last thing they're thinking about is packing up meals to go back the next day.
She says restaurants have already said they'd cover meals the next 3 weekends. A fundraiser is set up to donate thousands of dollars to help people who are working during the COVID-19 crisis. The Illini Radio Group declared today April Foods Day. The goal was $20,000 to be split into $20 gift cards from local restaurants. Those will be given to people working on the front line of the pandemic, including healthcare staff, first responders, and grocery store workers.
This whole situation has everyone feeling powerless, kind of helpless, and everyone is hearing about what they can't do, and we wanted to focus on something you can do. And one of the things that come to mind are all the people that have jobs where they're putting themselves at an enhanced risk.
The goal of $20,000 was reached this afternoon. They've already been in contact with several businesses about giving away those gift cards. The U of I is working toward improving its security measures for video chatting in the new age of digital schooling. The transition to meetings and classes on Zoom hasn't been without its bumps. UIPD is investigating an incident of people coming into a meeting and making racist comments. As a result, the U of I is making sure all meetings now have passwords. There have only been a few problems, but the U of I, of course, does not want any.
We're going to have to get better at it, and we're going to come across opportunities, things that nobody saw coming. But then as we work through it and work together as a community, that we can figure out how to effectively manage this and make it work well for everyone.
Zoom's been the meeting app of choice for much of the school. The U of I says there have been 30,000 unique sessions, 300,000 participants, and 192,000 Zoom hours logged by the school. In other news, a University High School PE teacher has been arrested on charges of child pornography. 56-year-old Douglas Minat also coaches girls cross country. He's accused of using an instant messaging site called Application A, where he's said to have uploaded and shared 15 pictures of child pornography on 5 occasions. Those included pictures of girls as young as 6 to 9 years old. The investigation is not complete. Law enforcement is asking anyone with information to contact the Champaign County Sheriff. An Amber Alert was canceled hours after it was issued for a 1-year-old in Grandview. That's near Springfield. Officers found the child, Raven Thomas, not hurt around 3 this morning. Police say Curtis Gibbs took the car with the toddler from the parking lot of Grandview Grocery and Liquor Store around 8:30 last night. Officers found Gibbs about a block away from the store. The car was found at the Dollar General a few blocks away. Police say he has no history with the Thomas family. Fishermen had the green light yesterday to start trout season tomorrow. Why that changed. Plus, social distancing means, of course, keeping your distance, even at the park. What some cities are doing because people simply aren't following the rules. And one Illini coach will be staying a little longer, who got a contract extension.